Good morning. My name is Kayla Tatiana Baños Moreno, and today we are going to be talking about strategy in international relations. First of all, what is strategy? Well, strategy is a high-level plan that is developed in order to reach out to a goal. In this case, when we're talking about a goal, we mean that we are talking about a country which is looking for the best of the people who live in the country. When we are talking about these strategies, we mean that there are certain things, certain plans that are going to be made with other countries in order to get the benefit for both sides. For the country that is the first one that we're talking about, and the second one that they can do bargains, they can do plans, they can also be together in order to reach out to the goal that they wanted to do from the very beginning. So that's pretty much what it's a strategy.
My name is Francis Contreras and I will explain the concept of statecraft. And it is the art of management and development a state of power, for example, to achieve a goal. For a country, it's really important to have this type of case, that is the relationship between states. For example, something really important is the influence that a state can have among states with power. For example, if a country knows that they have problems with other states, they have to be very prepared for maybe a possible war or maybe economical problems, and they have to prepare everything, but always thinking about in the economy of maybe in a country have, because they don't have to affect that in that type of situation a country, but they have to be prepared for maybe a war. They have to have enough military power, but always thinking in the benefits that their own state can have.
My name is Deborah Cruz Villanueva. Talking about international relation and its strategies, one of them is bluffing. Actually, bluffing is a strategy applied to poker. Yes, the game. But this concept is also applied to international relations. Bluffing basically is to make someone believe that you will do something when you don't really intend to do it, or that you know something when you don't really know it. Government use this strategy, but for their benefits. For example, a government or a state could make another state believe that they are going to do something for them, for example, giving back some aid or help or support, when the reality is that they are not going to do it. So it's important to say that government or state shouldn't abuse of this strategy. I mean, they don't have to use too much this strategy, because if they use too much this strategy, they can start losing credibility with other states.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Guevara and I'm going to explain you about deterrent strategy. This strategy uses a threat to punish another actor if it takes a certain negative action, especially attacking one's own state or one's allies. If deterrent works, its effects are almost invisible. Its success is measured in attacks that did not occur. Advocates of deterrence believe that a conflict is more likely to escalate into war when one party of the conflict is weak. A clear example of this strategy is the Cold War.
Hi, my name is Abner and I'm going to explain what is compellence. Compellence is the ability of one state to coerce another state into action, usually by threatening punishment. It aims to persuade the opponent to change his behavior. We make a demand of action, then initiate our own and continue doing until the opponent ceases. Compellence can entail use of force or the threat of use of force. In cases where an actor uses force to compel, the signal is, look, I just hurt you, and if you don't do what I want, I can hurt you more. An example of this can be how the US dropped nuclear bombs to Japan in 1945 to compel them to stop fighting.
Hello, my name is Raúl Pérez. I will talk about the conflict escalation. The conflict escalation is when a conflict grows severity over time. This could be a political or a military conflict, depending to the context. This means that two nations have a discussion, a problem, but they don't want to do a military conflict. It's useful to control the opponent's reaction time, and the tactic is to do a pursuit or a trap to the opponent. So they start just harassing the other or molesting it because they want to do the other nation to do something. So the most simple example of this is the Cold War. The Cold War was a problem about the USA and the URSS. So they have a problem because the communism and the capitalism, but they haven't do any military conflict. They just fight with words, for example, with propaganda, with defaming the other nation, and they didn't do any kind of military conflict because they knew that a new military conflict could bring another world war.
My name is Esmeralda Pineda, and I'm going to talk about arms race. Arms race started in 1945 when United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan in order to end the World War II. But why do states engage in arms race? Well, because in a world of anarchy, having military power gets you, allow you to get your way. And also arms race take place when many countries compete among themselves in order to create the most powerful weapons and also increase their military force. And they want, every state wants to get the power and over the others in order to get the security and get the control over the other countries. An example of this one is the United States and Soviet. They have an arms race because United States, both countries can build weapons, but United States get and pass the arms, but Soviet Union they nowadays they are creating more weapons than United States. In conclusion, the arms race is bad for the international peace because an arms race leads to a war.
Dana Palacios and the cost-benefit analysis. Jules Dupuit, a French engineer and economist, introduced the concept in 1840, but was developed by Alfred Marshall in 1850. As its name suggests, the CBA involves adding up the benefit of a course of action and then comparing this with the cost associated with it. But it's important to follow this step. The brainstorm cost and benefit and assign a monetary cost and assign a monetary value to the benefit. And finally, compare the cost and benefit. The purpose of the CBA is to provide a consistent procedure for evaluating actions or decisions in terms of their consequence. For example, the collective garbage and the majority voting.
My name is Steven Romero. What do international relations scholars understand by the term cooperation? Whereas realists or neoliberals disagree about the importance of international cooperations, there is widespread agreement on a work definition. Cooperation arises when actors adjust their behavior to the actual or anticipated preferences of others through a process of policy coordination. Cooperation is in the Airbus case should manifest itself as the adjustment of European community and US trade policies.
It is Vasquez, and I'm going to talk about defection. Defection is when a state gives up disloyalty to another state in a way which is considered illegitimate, as well as it involves leaving person, cause, or doctrine to which one is bound by some tie as of disloyalty or duty. An example could be that general from Venezuelan Air Force has announced that Nicolás Maduro has been the highest ranking military defection in order to hit the regime.